to the channel. I know this video is actually early. It's like a bonus video for all of you. I just wanted to bring this information to you. I know a few other channels have covered it, and I had made the comment to my wife that this is going to be covered real quick, and I really should jump on it. So here it is. I know a few others channels have already covered it, but just wanted to bring it to you. Okay, so if you've been paying attention to the news, then you know that Florida and Tennessee and South Carolina basically just got fucking leveled, destroyed. Hurricane ripped through and just demolished it, right? And I was just in Tennessee last month, right in the area where Pigeon Forge was a stone throw away. Pigeon Forge is all jacked up. So prayers and whatnot to all of them. But what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about what is going on in Florida, more specifically Okeechobee, Florida. So this just came in. It is not widespread in the news media as of yet, but there was a public notice put out by the police chief. So local state of emergency, city of Okeechobee, Florida, Hurricane Helene, whatever, however it's pronounced. All right, under the authority of City Ordinance number 1297, adopted by the City Council September 26, 2024, just a couple of days ago, the city's designated emergency management official, I, Donald Hagan, Chief of Police, hereby declare a state of local emergency within the municipal boundaries of the city of Okeechobee, Florida. It's in effect 9 a.m. 26th of September and will remain in effect through 6 a.m. September 27th. Unless terminated early, and may be extended based on operational conditions due to Hurricane Helene. All right, Helen, however it's pronounced. Okay, so what is this declaration that he did? All right, the declaration prohibits the following acts for the duration of the declared state of emergency per Florida statute 870.044. A, the sale of or offer to sell with or without consideration any ammunition, gun, or other firearm of any size or description. B, the intentional display by or in any store or shop of any ammunition or gun or other firearm any size or description. And then C, the intentional possession in a public space of a firearm by any person except a duly authorized law enforcement official or person in military service acting in the official performance of their duties. At the time of issuing said declaration, no additional emergency measures are deemed appropriate to be added as allowed by Florida Statute 870.045, signed Donald C. Hagan II, 9/26/2024. Okay. So, literally the city of Okeechobee has adopted an illegal ordinance disarming the people, well, at least at the bare minimum, suspending the Second Amendment. It is absolutely illegal. All right, in this article, which I will put in the description below, goes on to say that Florida has preemption statutes to prevent things like this, right? That the only people that can control and regulate firearms is the state legislative body, right? So any other public official, police chief, etc., who violates this statute will be removed from office and fined up to $5,000, which they must pay personally, right? They can't use like city funds, etc. All right. So violating the Second Amendment, of course. Now, it is bad there. I'm sure you've all seen photos, but here's a quick history lesson. All right. About 8 years ago, Hurricane Katrina ripped through New Orleans. Police Chief Eddie Compass ordered the police and National Guard units confiscate firearms from civilians who had remained in the area. Did this for safety. Now, looters are running wild, and guess what? They're doing it again because these businesses have been wiped out. Roads are shut down. So, of course, criminals are going to go do criminal things and looters are going to loot. So, people are trying to protect their stuff. And I don't blame them. That's why I always harp on being prepared. Not for the zombie apocalypse, not for, societal collapse, though. This is pretty close. But mainly because sometimes it rains. Obviously, in Florida and Tennessee, there are areas that have been completely cut off from normal civilization, and being prepared, having emergency food stores, emergency medical supplies, ammunition, and guns is very important. Then you can see here the police chief is trying to take them away. So, with the Disaster Recovery Personal Protection Act of '06, which is HR 5013, the United States Congress overwhelmingly passed a law right after Katrina, and all this went down when they confiscated guns, leaving people defenseless to not be able to defend their stuff against the criminal element that ignored all of that. So July 25th, 2006, they passed this law. And it's the Disaster Recovery Personal Protection Act of '06. Okay? It goes into the Stafford Disaster Relief Emergency Assistance Act to prohibit U.S. officers or employees or any person operating under federal authority while acting in support of relief from a major disaster or emergency from seizing or prohibiting possession of any firearm, the possession of which is not otherwise prohibited, other than the forfeiture in compliance with federal law and the evidence in the criminal investigation requiring registration of any firearm not otherwise blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on and on. Basically, it boils down to this. We have federal law that says no government officer can disarm the public in a time of emergency like this, because there was such a massive outcry when it happened with Katrina. The NRA sued, people were suing left and right. The government acted immediately and passed a law saying, yeah, this was wrong and you can never do it again. You cannot just suspend people's rights. Fast forward to today. They did it again. And granted, it's only that one town and that police chief. However, there needs to be accountability. This police chief needs to be fired, fined, all of it. Just having your gun on you to protect yourself in an area where the law enforcement can't come. You call 911, ain't nobody coming. So you need to be able to protect yourself against the looters, against those out there that are desperate and willing to do whatever it takes to get whatever they need. It's pandemonium. And you are told that you need to be defenseless. However, as a law-abiding citizen, this is how it affects you. The criminals, they don't care. They would obviously violate it. They're going to use force. They're going to take what they want. And you are supposed to just be a helpless victim. So sorry. Sucks to be you. Get over it, is basically what that police chief just said. I would not comply. Kiss my ass. It's that simple. They are wrong. It is unconstitutional. Not only that, it is against federal law. We literally had to pass a law telling people they can't do this, even though the Constitution says you can't do it. So we had to pass another law to ensure the original one was understood, right? The right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. And that's it. It's not like, unless there's an emergency, unless we're scared, unless we don't have power, we can't do certain things, blah, blah, blah. No. Your right to bear arms is concrete. The government cannot do anything to take it away, and yet they do. And everybody always asks why I harp on this. Why am I borderline paranoid about giving the government an itch? Because they jump straight to this type of stuff, right? I know with the current um, climate that's going on in our country, with the election literally 30 some odd days away, um, one side is calling for common sense gun control, right? Universal background checks, assault weapons ban, this, that, the other thing. You give them an inch, they're going to steal a mile, they're going to steal a light year, zero movement. We don't capitulate. We don't give them anything. We don't negotiate. My Second Amendment is my Second Amendment. Nobody ever questions, First Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, right? Ones if a police chief comes out and goes, well, we're suspending speedy trials, et cetera, et cetera. Oh wait, they kind of did that with January 6th people who have been sitting in jail ever since it happened, never been charged, in solitary confinement. Okay, so they're violating that right. And I don't know if you've noticed, but World Economic Forum, there's a video online where John Kerry literally said that the First Amendment is kind of getting in the way of their ability to pretty much crush disinformation or independent journalists who are trying to bring out maybe an alternate viewpoint or the truth. If you don't believe me, think about when COVID was going on right in the beginning, and you had these independent journalists talking about how it could have come from a lab. And everyone was like, oh, that's preposterous. It came from the wet market where people eat, bats, which nobody believed that. I mean, it made so much sense that it came out of a biological manufacturing weapons lab type thing, and just escaped. But no, you were a conspiracy theorist, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward a couple of years. Hey, now we know, yeah, it probably came out of the lab, like 99.999% sure that's where it originated from. Yet you still get your diehards out there that believe it came from that wet market. Makes no damn sense. So there you go. Do you need any more proof that the governments or those in charge, not all, some in charge, really just want to take your rights away so they have all the power? They have the monopoly on violence. Remember, like I said last video, it's not about gun control. It's just about control. And they're willing to do anything to control you. Remove your First Amendment, your Second Amendment, so on and so forth. All right, that's all I have for you guys in this video. I just thought you'd like to know that in the town of Okeechobee, the police chief came out and literally suspended the Second Amendment unlawfully, not only against state law, federal law, but against the Constitution. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there giving him praise for doing it. I think this police chief needs to be fired, arrested, fined. Get rid of him. You live in that town, or you know somebody that lives in that town, share the video, send it to them. It's bad, and it's only going to get worse. You think it's going to get any better? I guarantee you. PSYOPs next month, October surprise, November is going to be a wild, wild ride. And God forbid this country slips into a deep depression, right? Depression. If you're like, well, maybe you're recovered, maybe we're in a recession. We're currently in the recession. They're just lying about all the numbers. I mean, you can't tell me we're not. Just go to the grocery store, go buy some gas. We're in a recession. Okay? Mark my words. Bubbles are going to pop when it comes to like stock market, housing, student loans, etc. Everything's going to come crashing down. It is just a house of cards. Always has been. It's a very delicate system, and when it comes down, it's coming down hard. Be ready, prepare, get your emergency food, emergency medicines, stock up on your ammo, get your guns while you can. Be ready. All right, that's all I got for you guys in this video. I'll let you go. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you get notifications when I put up a video. Down in the description below, not only is it a link to this article, and I'll put up the link for congress.gov dealing with the law, but you're going to find the merch store. Best way to support the channel is obviously like, share, and comment, subscribing. If you want to throw a little cheddar toward the channel, great. Merch store, we've got locals, Patreon. Being a member here sometimes pays off. You get exclusive videos, behind the scenes stuff. Lots of stuff are in the works. So be a member so you get all that good stuff. All right. I'll let you guys go for now, and I will see you guys later. Here I am shutting everything down. I almost forgot. Today in the mail, I got a package. Working on a review. Look forward to that. Some good stuff here. All right. Comes with discount codes, all kinds of good stuff. So stand by to stand by. Shouldn't take long. All right. I'll see you guys.